Hey everybody, so excited to see you here right here on Facebook for our app devotional. And today I want to do something that is specific to the season that we're in. As many of you know, there are headlines happening all the time. Recently, there was a tragedy that happened in Minneapolis with a police officer and a young man who was, by many estimation, was treated unfairly and obviously lost his life. I want to encourage you right now, while we don't know all the circumstances surrounding that situation, I want to encourage you to look above the situation and just look at what is happening on the earth. Right now on the earth, it seems like things are completely out of balance. It seems like people are acting in massive moves of good, and then with the next breath, all of a sudden we have riots in the streets where National Guard and people are being called, even local police officers are being called to go help in Minneapolis right now. And this isn't just happening in our city in Minneapolis, it's happening in other places all across the U.S. and certainly all across the globe, where there just seems to be this sense of the nations being shaken. So I want to bring you to Psalm 46. What do we do when things are shaking around us? What do you do when the world is shaking around you? Where do we find our hope? Where is our refuge? And notice what the psalmist says in Psalm 46, verse 7. He says this: though nations rage, though nations are acting completely out of character, they rage forth. Though nations rage and kingdoms totter. Now, this translation uses the word totter to really talk about that they're in balance and they move back and forth, and they are essentially, these kingdoms are shakeable. And though nations rage and kingdoms totter, he utters his voice and the earth melts. The psalmist is trying to get us to remember the power of God, even though right now the power of man seems real, because men are burning down buildings, men are looting Target stores and other places. You see, these things can get us to be shaken, but we need to remember we have a God who is more powerful than all of these things. So the psalm goes on to say, the Lord of hosts is with us. Our stronghold is the God of Jacob. Come and see the works of the Lord, who has done fearsome deeds on earth. So the psalmist is reminding us that God is great, even when it seems like our world is shaking. Now, I want you to know that that's true. I want you to know that even though the earth may be filled with troubles and trials, even though you may face persecution, even though you may face trials, even though you may have loved ones who are in the face of this battle, your God is still trustworthy. Now, right now, it may not seem like that's easy to believe, but can I ask you to pray in a spirit of faith that God will cause this shaking to cease, that God will cause a covering and a protection over those who are in the face of this battle, but yet are innocent from the reasons why it's been caused. I want to encourage you right now to make God your refuge. Maybe you have some shaking in your life. I want you to know God is with you. Making God your refuge means simply this. It means that you're saying, I am going to go to God for my stability. I'm going to God for my shelter. I'm going to God for my peace. I'm not looking to the world for peace. I'm looking to God for my peace. I'm not looking to the world for my stability and my sustainability. I'm looking to God. And so right now, when your soul seems shaken, when the world seems shaken, let's make it known that the God of Jacob, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the God of our ancestors, the God, Yahweh, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, that He is the unshakable God of all things. And though the nations may rage and the kingdoms may be imbalanced, God is faithful and He is our refuge. So take refuge in Him, be encouraged, and pray for those who right now are facing this difficulty. God bless you guys. We'll see you soon.